Okay, so today marks 1 year since my first upload on this channel. Along the way, we've ranked just about anything and everything you can think of. 45 videos later have gotten us here, and today we're looking back at each and every one of them and ranking them on an arbitrary, totally unbiased scale. Alright, here we go. Starting with the alphabet tier list, the start of this channel saw me rank all 26 letters of the alphabet. I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing as this was my first time ranking anything, but I just went with the flow and let the ranking sort itself out. Some people agreed with me, some people didn't, but overall this was a good start to the channel. Definitely a classic video. Next is the number tier list. The most popular of the original tier list videos saw me ranking every number from 0 to 9, with a few special ones at the end. A lot of engagement in the comments sparked quite a bit of debate, but to this day 7 is still an F tier number regardless of what anyone else says. Another classic video added to the list. Following that was the shape tier list, one of the more fun ones to make. The shape tier list is one that I look back on every now and then. By this point I was starting to grasp the tier list concept and how to rank things fairly while also justifying my rankings. PS Pentagon still suck to this day. A fun one to make and one of the best ones you'll come to find on this channel. Next came the colors tier list. I ranked the 10 colors we all know and love and had some great visuals to go alongside it. This one was quite polarizing as no one could really accept the fact that red truly is and forever will be the best color. This is probably a personal favorite of the old school tier list videos and one of the best of the best. Next up was the sports tier list. I ranked 11 of my favorite sports in this video just as the title suggests. It was pretty straightforward but one with very little research and just my opinion. Nothing crazy about this one but still a decent video. After that came the apps tier list. I ranked the 10 apps that I use the most on a daily basis and it went pretty smoothly. This one was also the first video that used the blurred ranking template in the thumbnail, one that I would come to use many more times afterwards. This one was a fun one to make. Then came the logo tier list. This started my longest running series, started with me ranking 10 of the best logos out there. This was a great one to make as I've always loved logos and the symbolism behind them. With logo tier list 3 coming out recently, the series has potential to go on infinitely as I'll never run out of logos to rank. This one is one of the best of the best. After that came the calendar tier list. I ranked all 12 months of the year because why not? This one actually took very little planning and I just explained how I perceive each month of the year to be like. A solid video here for sure. Up next was the pizza topping tier list. The first short I posted certainly was a hassle to make as I didn't know how to edit or crop anything to make it fit in the short sizing. It is still a great video to look back on, and no, pineapple does not belong on pizza. The tier list was tedious but still super fun to make. Next came the Christmas tier list, only 4 days later than the actual day, but hey, at least it still went out. This one was a good time as Christmas is my favorite holiday and I was in the festive spirit, making this video a little bit more special. A very decent video to look back on. After that was the tier list, basically the same concept as this one. I ranked the 10 videos that I had made up to that point. I thought I was being clever with the name, but looking back I think it's more confusing than it is captivating. Still a solid video for sure. Next up was my 2022 recap. The last video of 2022 on this channel saw me look back at the videos that I had made that year and what was coming up for 2023. The video wasn't a tier list as I didn't necessarily rank anything, so it can't really be judged like the others. It'll go in its separate best of the rest tier today. After that came the New Year's resolution tier list. My first video of 2023 highlighted all the popular resolutions that everyone makes at the start of the year and how likely people were to actually stick to them. I can't say much though as I don't think I followed a single one of mine. Regardless, it's still a solid video. Next up was the fast food tier list. I ranked all the fast foods around me and it was a great time. I need to make a part 2 to this video as I've tried a handful of new things since making this one. This one was fun to make and now I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. After that came logo tier list 2. I added 10 more logos to the original ranking and called it a day. Not as good as the original as is the case for almost every sequel, but still a very decent video in its own regard. Next up was fixing Schlatt's cereal tier list. The first video in my Fixing Your Tier List series saw me rank arguably the most popular tier list out there. This concept was really fun for me, and just to clarify, it was all fun and games and the original tier list had nothing wrong with it. One of the best videos you'll find on this channel. After that came the chess tier list. My most popular short had me ranking every piece in chess. This one was fun to make even if there wasn't a whole lot to actually rank. If I was actually semi-competent at chess, the ranking may have been different, but we're sticking with it for now. Another super fun video to make. Next up was the space tier list. The first tier list I made where I used video content instead of pictures, saw me rank all the planets in our solar system and the sun. Using some very good quality stock videos of outer space resulted in one of my favorite videos to make and one that I look back on with great regard. This video is a classic and might need a sequel sometime soon. After that came the nature tier list. Another video that I really enjoyed making with some quality stock videos. This one was also fun to make as I got to rank some of the most beautiful things that we find on our planet. A great video that also deserves its own sequel. It was super fun to produce. After that came the Super Bowl tier list. Just in time for Super Bowl 57, I ranked anything and everything related to this giant sporting event. Did I know much about football at the time? No, but I did learn quite a bit, which is all that matters. Another decent video in the books with this one. Next up was the Canada tier list. I ranked all the things about my homeland, both the good and the bad. It was a nice video to make and could get updated if I end up traveling more and seeing more of this beautiful country. A nice video to look back on and a solid one that I enjoyed making. After that came the F1 2023 tier list. I ranked all the F1 teams based on their preseason testing and how I thought they would perform in the upcoming season. Based on my predictions and where each team is at with the summer break of the season currently going on, I'd say my predictions were somewhat accurate, minus Ferrari actually being a competent team. Still a fun one to make and certainly a decent watch. Next up was how to make a tier list, a very fun and informational short highlighting how to make a tier list the vibe check way, a formula that I still use to this day and which has proven to work time and time again. This one was fun to make and a reminder to myself to post more shorts. After that came the ultimate fruit tier list, a random tier list that I found when I was scrolling on Tier Maker led to this video. It was a good time as I ranked the fruits we all know and love, some lesser known ones, and had to leave out a few that I've never had before. The last video to use the original thumbnail template, this one has a soft spot in my heart. Super fun video to make and to look back on. Next up was the ice cream tier list. This one was fun to make since everyone loves ice cream. I can safely say that pistachio is still an F tier flavor and I don't know how some people enjoy eating it when it tastes that gross. Great video to look back on and a super fun one to make. After that came fixing Chase's Pixar tier list. I like to think of this as the first video in the second stage of this channel where I focus on making content using videos instead of photos more, and putting in more effort in the production of these videos. This video is the first example of that as I gathered clips from all the movies in the ranking, and had to try and grade each of Chase's predictions objectively. This video is one of the most popular on my channel, and even Chase himself reacted to it, which is kind of crazy to me. This video is one of big significance for me and for this channel, and is definitely a classic. Next up was ranking every Netflix show I've seen. This was a great video to make as I got to look back at all the great and not so great shows that I've seen on Netflix. It definitely needs some updating as I've seen a handful of shows since I posted this. Overall, this was a fun video to make and will most likely get a part 2. After that came ranking every Game Pigeon game. This video was super fun to make and one of my favorites that I've posted recently. I loved playing Game Pigeon ever since it first came out, and with the help of my friends I was able to put this video together. I still think I could take anyone on in Word Hunt, but that's just my humble opinion. This was a great video to put together and one of the best you'll find on here. Next up was ranking every Mario character. This video was made to celebrate the launch of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, even if it did come out 1 week after the movie was launched. I got to rank my favorite characters from the Mario universe and it made me feel like a kid again. Just like the games, this video was super fun. After that came ranking every Wii Sports Resort game mode. This video was filled with nostalgia as I haven't played this game in forever, but surely haven't forgotten the memories associated with it. Taking a trip to Woohoo Island was much needed, and making this video made me want to go out and buy a Wii again. Easily one of my favorite videos to make and one of the best ones on my channel. Next up was making a tier list with ChatGPT. The first time I used AI to make a tier list certainly gave us a few unexpected rankings. This was more of an experimental video than anything, as I wasn't actually sure if it was going to work or not. It definitely took ChatGPT a while to figure out what it was doing, but it eventually got the hang of it. Fun and easy video to make and a decent watch if you like the concept. After that came ChatGPT Fix My Tier List. I decided to use my own fixing your tier list idea against myself to see if ChatGPT agreed with me, and I certainly got humbled in a few categories. I like the idea of using AI to make tier lists as it takes all the human bias out of the way and just gives you straight facts. I need to make more AI related content, so stay tuned for more. This one is definitely a decent watch as well. Next up was introducing the tier list wheel, a super random idea I had one day of using a wheel to make my tier list for me instead of doing it myself. A bit tough to work out the logistics, but once I did, it worked out pretty well. I enjoyed making this one and I'll get a sequel one day. A fun video to make and to watch as well. After that came ranking my viewers' comments. This was a super lighthearted video where I went to my comment section and took your feedback, constructive criticism, and downright fixing of my tier list and showcased them. I really do enjoy reading the comments that all of you leave, so this one was really nice to make. One of the better videos you'll find on this channel, all thanks to you, the viewer. Next up was exploring the r/tier list subreddit. I decided to venture off into the wild world of Reddit to see how others made their tier lists. I found some funny stuff, some weird stuff, and some stuff that downright made no sense. I threw a curveball and gave a number rating instead of a tier ranking, which just makes this video a bit more unique compared to all the others. A solid watch if you want something a bit different and a decent video in my opinion. After that came ranking every match from the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The shining gem of this channel came from an idea that I was super passionate about. I never worked on such a project time-wise, idea-wise, and production-wise. I poured my heart and soul into making this video and I still can't fully wrap my head around the reception it got. This video was such a grind to make, but it certainly paid off, and seeing how much everyone enjoyed it is a great feeling as a content creator. This one truly is a classic for this channel. Next up was fixing Schlatt's chip tier list. The next installment in fixing your tier list series saw me go up against the mighty Schlatt once again, this time ranking chips. I love chips, so this one was fun to make as it really had me thinking about which ones are my favorite and which ones don't deserve to be eaten whatsoever. This one was really fun to make. After that came ranking every NBA team's 2022-2023 season. As a huge basketball fan, this past NBA season was one of the best, most entertaining seasons I had ever seen, and it was only fair to rank every team that participated. It was nice to look back on such a historic season and to be able to praise the teams that did well and to critique the ones that didn't. Super fun video to make and one that I'll have to make again next season. Next up was ranking every FIFA game that matters. The first video that I posted after my summer holiday was another nostalgia-filled video game ranking. FIFA is one of my favorite video game series of all time, and it was only right to look back at every game I've played from this franchise. There's definitely some debating happening in the comments that everyone had a different say when it comes to the all-time best FIFA game, but a general consensus on the ones at the top of the ranking. I loved making this one and it's one of the best videos on my channel. After that came fixing my 2022 FIFA World Cup tier list. Over 1,000 comments on the original video had me thinking, wow, I really made a polarizing video. I decided to go back and see what all you viewers had to say and use your constructive criticism to make this video. It was fun going back and seeing what people had to say, and I can admit some rankings in the original video may have been a bit controversial. Once again, I appreciate all the comments that led to this video, and it was a super fun one to make. After that came ranking my favorite DreamWorks movies. Taking inspiration from the Pixar video led me to rank the best movies from my other favorite studio. I really do enjoy making the nostalgia based videos, and this one was no different. This video is also the first one I posted after the rebranding of this channel, which is the one we have now. This was the beginning of the third stage of this channel, which saw more emphasis on the presentation of the videos themselves. A video I loved making and one of the best you'll find. Next up was ranking every old school mobile game. Making this video made me feel like a kid again. Playing all those classic mobile games was a great time and made me appreciate the era of my childhood just a bit more. And even 10 years later, Flappy Bird is still the worst game ever released on the App Store. This one was a blast to make and a super fun video overall. After that came ranking every match from the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Drawing inspiration from the first video, I decided to embark on another mega project, making a video that makes football and nostalgia together. Getting to relive this World Cup was a great feeling that I had throughout the entire project, and even though it took more hours than I can count, it was so worth it. Even though it's only been out for a few weeks, this video is one that I poured my heart and soul into and will surely become a classic one day. Next up was Logo Tier List 3. The third edition of the Logo Tier List saw 50 new logos be added to the ever-growing ranking, which soon enough will reach over 50. It felt nice making this video as it felt like I was making a throwback video. This series will last until we rank every logo ever created, so we'll see how many episodes it takes. A super fun video to make months after the last one. And there you have it. 1 year on YouTube has gotten us to this point. It's been a great journey that started with me ranking every letter of the alphabet, and somehow, some way we've ended up here. I'm truly grateful for everyone that watches these videos, leaves a like, shares it with a friend, or writes a comment. Your support allows me to keep making these videos for you, and they will only get better with time. I'm super excited to see where we'll be at in 1 year from now when part 2 of this series comes out. Hopefully you'll all be there for it. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you next time.